Do that again.
I'm from a city called McKinney. It's just right outside of Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
30 miles south. North. 30 miles north.
Okay. Cool. What's your last name? I don't even know.
It's Stensrud. It's Stensrud.
Wait, I'm gonna put it in my phone.
Okay.
So I know how to spell it. So I remember. How do you spell it?
Stensrud.
Steenensrud?
Only one N.
One N?
Mm-hmm. No, sorry, only one E.
Oh, okay.
Stensrud.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Stensrud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's 1 minute. How old are you?
I'm 23.
You're 23?
Mm-hmm.
And you served a mission?
Yeah. I served in the Salt Lake City South Mission.
I remember that.
I got home about a year ago.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
English speaking?
English, yeah.
That's nice. Tell me about your family.
Okay, so I have 2 brothers and a sister. My parents, and of course my parents met at BYU. My older brother is married. He lives here in Rexburg, and I actually worked with him at Nielsen's.
Oh.
Off Second West.
Oh, that's cool. He's going to school?
Yeah, he's finishing up school. I think he's finishing this semester. And he's married. As I mentioned, he's married about 2 years. And my little brother, he's 4 years younger than me, and he's on a mission in Mexico right now. He just got made his own leader recently. He's been out for about 10 months, I think. And my sister is 17. She's a senior in high school. She does cosmetology. She's in cosmetology school. And yeah, she used to play volleyball, which she quit. She doesn't play volleyball anymore. She's just doing hair and whatnot. They plans on going to BYU for a year before going on her mission. So.
And where are you in? Are you in the middle?
Yeah, I'm second of 4, so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just your one brother is married?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have kids?
He doesn't have kids yet, no.
Cool. So did you grow up in Texas?
No, I was born in Provo, Utah. My parents are going to school there. And my dad was finishing up his master's degree while my mom taught elementary school. She taught 3rd and 4th grade. And once he graduated, he got a job. He graduated, I think, when I was about 4 years old. Or maybe that's just when we moved. But anyways, he got a job, I think at a hospital in human resources. So he wasn't a doctor or anything, but he did the human resources part of it. I think it's called St. Angelo's Hospital in Fresno, California. So we moved there when I was 4. Stayed there for 3 years, and then his friend was leaving his job at Pepsi, which was in Florida, and they needed someone who speaks Spanish to do HR over there. My dad served a mission in Bolivia, so he knew Spanish. And so his friend helped get the job in Florida, and so he moved to Miami, where he started his job at Pepsi. And he's been transferred a few times since, so he got transferred to got transferred to Pennsylvania when I was in 4th grade, so was that 10 years old? And then he got transferred to Texas when, so when I was 13, so we've been there for about 10 years, and he's been transferred a few times, but luckily it's been pretty nearby in Texas, so we haven't had to move, so we've been there for the longest.
Cool. So, did you come here before you went on your mission, or did you just go and then
Yeah, so I was 18 when I came here, and I kind of came here because um, I wanted to go to University of Arkansas. That's where all my friends were going. I don't have many non-member friends back at home, and they're all going to University of Arkansas. And I applied there and I got in, but if you had certain GPA and ACT score, you could get in-state tuition. And I missed in-state tuition by like 0.01 GPA or something like that. And so obviously it was a good thing because then my parents said that they would pay for it if I went to BYU. And so I went to BYU originally just because, or BYU just because they paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a very good attitude about it. I actually ended up failing out of, I think I passed one class and it was mission prep with like 72.
Mm-hmm.
And so I failed out and went home and went to community college. And I actually failed most of my classes there too. And then about a year after that, I went on my mission. So I was about 20 and a half when I went on my mission.
Okay.
And I was inactive during most of that time when I was at home in between BYU and my mission.
So is this like your third semester here?
Yeah, technically it's my fourth if you count the first one, but it's my third being back.
Okay.
I stayed year round, so I came back for the winter semester, and then I stayed for spring, which was my off track, and then now the fall, so third semester.
What's your major?
It's communications.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. What do you want to do?
Well, not everyone in our class is communications, so.
Yeah.
So originally what I wanted to do was I wanted to be a professor at one of the BYU schools and teach like a religion class. And the route that I would have gone there is teach seminary first in like Utah or Idaho or something, where it's a paid position, and then maybe a CS teacher, and then hopefully become a professor. But I was a little worried. It's pretty competitive. That like seminary teachers are a pretty competitive field. A lot of people into it, and it's not very high paying, and you can get stuck there for a long time. And so for that reason, for financial reason, I think I want to do that more like as a retirement sort of thing. And I'm more just excited that I chose communications because I thought it was something that I would enjoy. Because I don't really like the writing portion of it, like in our writing class. I do like the speaking portion of it, though. Like I'm in a public speaking class, and I really like that.
Cool.
But I just thought it was something I would enjoy. I could get done with it fast because I want to get my master's in a business degree at BYU Provo or somewhere else. That's kind of what my dad did. He got his bachelor's in psychology, but then he switched to master's. He switched to a master's degree in business for his master's program, and then got human resources. I'm kind of thinking that's kind of what I want to do because, he's always had a pretty good job. I mean, he's worked his way up, but he's always had pretty good hours. I was usually home by 5 o'clock or whatnot.
What's his job?
He's a human resource manager at Pepsi.
Oh.
And so, and he's always been able to be home on time and or had a good time, spend time with the family, and had weekends off for his whole time. And he's also been able to do some traveling with my mom a lot and with us sometimes because his job allowed it. So
cool.
Something that might be something I probably want to do. And he enjoys it, so. And he and I have pretty similar personalities, so I think I'd probably enjoy it too.
Sounds like a nice job. It's only been 9 minutes.
It's only been 9 minutes?
Yeah. Well, I guess I probably have enough background information. So, now for the profile essay part. I don't know what to ask. Like, is there something you want my paper to be on? Like something that happened to you? Or something interesting? I don't know.
My life's been kind of boring. I mean, the only thing I think of is tell you about like my conversion story,
That would be cool
but
if
I'm
you
not
want.
sure. Yeah, I can. That's the only thing I can think of. Some useful information I played baseball growing up.
Oh, yeah.
In basketball, I switched to and so I grew up playing baseball, and I started playing basketball in 8th grade, and I made the C team reserve, and so pretty much I only played if someone got hurt or didn't make grades,
Yeah.
and so kind of how it worked is when we posted up the teams, they had the A team, B team, and C team, and on the last part it said Jared said you'd see coach at lunchtime or something like that. Someone talked to me and offered me a spot at the C team reserve. And so I was just kind of happy that I was on the team though. But anyways, I ended up playing all throughout high school. I ended up starting on varsity my senior year. And so I kind of worked it out better. And I played baseball my whole life, and I didn't make the team my freshman year. And I went and I talked to the coach. Because baseball was like my passion at the time. I loved playing baseball. I had basketball too, but baseball I played growing up. I went and talked to the coach, which was like really scary at that age.
Yeah.
I was 14, and I asked him for another chance. He gave me a chance to try out, and I did a lot better. I made the team. I think something about that kind of shook my confidence a little bit in baseball, and I ended up quitting my sophomore year. And then there's a new coach. He heard that I pitched, and he came by and asked me to play junior year. So I played junior year, and I earned a starting spot, and then I kind of messed it up because I got so nervous that I made a lot of mistakes, and so I lost my starting spot, and then I ended up I didn't play senior either, so I ended up playing basketball, and basketball's now my main sport, so it kind of switched. And then let's see.
Are those the only two sports you did?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed playing football, but I never played in an organized league until I played the one here this year.
Oh, okay.
I never played like with pads on until this year. So I went after that I went to BYU, and as I said, I did really poor there. And I actually kind of went inactive or less active at BYU because my parents weren't there to make me go to church and whatnot. So I probably went 2 or 3 times that semester. And I came home, and then I started working at Home Depot while I was going to community college. I worked as a lot loader, so I was good at push the carts and help people load. And I worked on Sundays, and so wasn't going to church at all. I worked every Sunday, and I never really asked for Sundays off either because I kind of used it as a reason why I couldn't go to church with my parents. And so I kind of got into a little bit of trouble with partying before I went to BYU, but not too bad. Because when I came home after BYU, then I started hanging out with my old friends again, and started going off track a lot, like partying a lot and doing a lot of things that aren't, in line with the gospel. And I didn't plan, like my parents asked me if I was starting a mission. I was told I wasn't going to start a mission, and they should leave me alone about it. And I always kind of pictured myself like not living, like not being Mormon in the future, like not having a Mormon lifestyle. And eventually I just got so unhappy. Like I didn't realize it at first, but one day I just kind of woke up and realized how unhappy I was. And I think the main thing was I realized that my life wasn't really going to go anywhere if I didn't make some changes, because when I fell out of college, I wouldn't have gone back. I already fell twice, so I think there'd be a point in going back. And just working at Home Depot, pushing carts, and I realized my life kind of wasn't going anywhere. I didn't do anything about it at first, and I got a job doing pesticides. I think it was a huge blessing because my mom told me like, hey, this guy in our ward or state who owns a pesticide company, he has some openings for the summer. You should give him a call. And I said, oh yeah, and just being lazy, I didn't call him for a couple of weeks, even though it was a job I knew I would like a lot more. I called him, and after a couple weeks, I was like, man, I just need to call him because there could be an opportunity. And so I called him and said, yeah, you can come down tomorrow and interview. Anyways, I got the job, and that's his power steak. And of course, they didn't run on Sundays anyways. He didn't run Sundays. And so I didn't have a choose not to go to church, so I went to church. And he also let me come in late to go to PPC, or sorry, not missionary NPC, which is Missionary Preparation Center, which is it's just what you do at the church. I don't know if you've heard of them. Pretty much like people who are doing the mission estate get together, and usually some of the bishops are there and the stake presidents, and they just do little things that help you practice to help you prepare to be a missionary.
Okay.
And I was on Saturday mornings, and he let me come in late on Saturday mornings, and so I was able to do that. And I didn't want to do that. My dad, kind of not really made me, but kind of made me, but it was really good. He did. And so I started planning to go on a mission. Then my brother came on his mission. And I kind of knew he was going to, my parents were going to have him try to talk me to go on a mission.
Where did he serve?
He served in Florida, Orlando, Florida.
Oh.
And so, which kind of works, that's kind of close to where we lived.
Oh.
But, so I was ready for that. I was ready to put my walls up when he tried talking about going on a mission. But I did see how much he loved his mission, and that kind of got me to think, I was wondering how could he love it so much if, it doesn't sound fun at all, going out for 2 years without girls or television or video games or sports, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he loved his mission, so that kind of got me thinking that maybe there was something more to it. And that, and I think also my patriarchal blessing talked about that I would serve in a special place, and I always kind of wonder what that would be, and it might be a shame to not find out what that was, but it also promised me really good, awesome blessings about my future family and school and things like that, and job if I went on a mission. And so, obviously those aren't the reasons to go on a mission, but for me at the time, those were the things that would kind of be factors that would make me want to go on a mission. But I still didn't do anything about it. It was kind of in my head, and so and as I kept going, I still kept making mistakes and whatnot. And I think I just got so happy at one point that I finally decided I wanted to change, and I finally decided to see if I should go on a mission. I think I decided to go on a mission, but I was going to do it for all the wrong reasons. And so I kind of thought to myself, I need to do it for the right reasons, or else it's going to be a really bad 2 years. That'll be miserable. And so I started reading the Book of Mormon and praying, and I just remember the first night after reading the Book of Mormon and praying for the first time, I read it for 30 minutes or an hour, and the next morning I just was really happy, and I was much more positive, and I think I felt the Spirit for the first time in a long time. And from that point on, I kind of stopped doing everything I was doing. Told my friends I was going to go on a mission. I couldn't do certain stuff with them anymore. And just from that point on, I kept preparing for a mission. And then about a year later, I went on a mission. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Obviously, it's been a huge blessing.
So before you went on your mission, you went to BYU Provo?
No, so I went to Idaho still.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just wondering.
I actually lived in Harris Hall, just right over there.
Oh, really? I know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
I had another question. How old were you when you got your patriarchal blessing?
I think I was 17.
You're 17?
Yeah. And I just kind of got it at the time, so my parents would stop bugging me about it.
Oh.
But
you didn't really want to, you just did it?
Yeah, I didn't really want to. I just thought it was kind of I just didn't feel like going through the steps to get it, even though it's not that long. But I mean, obviously, and I didn't really appreciate it at the time I first got it, but now I obviously appreciate it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was 17 when I got it.
Was there anything specific that, I don't know, led you to want to go on a mission for a right reason, or start going to church or anything?
Well, going back to church at the beginning was pretty much just because it was just trying to make my parents happy.
You were living with them?
Yeah, I was living with them, and I was trying to keep them off my back a little bit. The mission started as just me wanting to go on a mission because I knew it would give me a better chance of success in the future, because I knew it would make me a harder worker and I'd probably be a better student afterwards and whatnot. And so I knew that my future would be a lot better if I did go on a mission. But once I started reading the book more and praying, it changed to I want to go on a mission because it made me happy, and I knew it could make others happy too. And I felt like my experiences could help others. And of course I didn't have an amazingly strong testimony when I first got to the MTC. It was still pretty new. But I knew that it had blessed my life a lot. And but I didn't know, I couldn't say I knew for sure that it was true. Like, I want it to be true, I believed it was true. But I knew that it had made me a lot happier and that it blessed me a lot, so I knew it would do the same for others. So it kind of shifted, it switched during that process.
That's good. When you went to the MTC or started your mission, did you have at least like a certain testimony of Christ or the Book of Mormon or prayer?
Yeah, I believed, like I said, it wasn't super strong at the time.
Yeah.
It grows a lot on your mission from the experiences you have and from all the studying you do and whatnot. But I believed it was true, and I wanted it to be true, like the Book of Mormon and Jesus Christ. And I believe that God answered my prayers. But it wasn't like a sure thing. Like, my testimony is still very new, and I think I really got a sure answer from my prayers. The Book of Mormon was true in the first 3 months of my mission, when our mission president has all the new missionaries read the Book of Mormon in the first 3 months, and there's a schedule to do that. And I think it was after I finished Enos. There's a part in Enos where Enos was only one chapter, but at the end, Enos is I felt like Enos is kind of similar to me, because he talks about how he kind of wondered a lot upon the things his father taught him, and then while he was hunting. But he thought a lot about the joy of the saints, he says, and I believe also the eternities. He thought a lot about what happened after this life. And he was out hunting, and he got down and he prayed for a full day. And then at night, the voice of the Lord comes to him and tells him his sins are forgiven him. And then he becomes a straight missionary. And then he talks about how, at the end, how he's about to die, but he's not afraid that he's going to die. He's at peace because he knows he lived his life in a way that he'll return love with God again and have eternal happiness. And I remember that really kind of resonated with me. I had a feeling to get down on my knees and pray and ask him if the Book of Mormon was true. And I had a really strong confirmation from the Spirit that it was. And I think that was the first time back I can remember that I really got a strong answer from my prayers that the Book of Mormon was true. And so from there, that's when my testimony really, really grew. And then from there, I built upon it from there, of course.
So that was 3 months into your mission?
Yeah, that was within 3 months, so probably in between 2 and 3 months.
Okay. Cool. I don't know what to ask at this point.
How long is it? 15 minutes now?
It's been 25 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's only just a 30.
Okay.
And then, let's see, what else? What else can I tell you? Where do you think you want to go with your story? And I'll tell you. Maybe I can see if I think of something that will add to it.
Well, I'll probably just focus on your conversion and probably still talk a little about your mission too, because that was a little bit a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell me more about your mission.
Okay. Let's see. Something that I'll tell you a couple stories. Couple of my patriarchal blessing. I talked earlier about how my patriarchal blessing, I go to a special place and I serve a special mission. And so, of course, I always thought, I'd be going to somewhere cool, like maybe like somewhere in China or something like that that hadn't been like open yet, or just somewhere far out there. And so the last place I thought it would be was Utah. And so when I first got called to Utah, I was pretty shocked at first and pretty disappointed for a little bit. And I got over it pretty quick. I realized that it didn't matter exactly where I served. I was going where the Lord wanted me to. But initially, most people are pretty disappointed when they get called to Utah because they didn't want to go somewhere cool or foreign. And but when patriarchal blessing also says that I'd receive a significant and sweet manifestation from the Spirit that I was going to a special place. And I had smaller little light feelings of that, but I hadn't really had a really powerful one. At the end of my mission, Richard G. Scott came and spoke to us, and he talked a lot about the way the work was going with all these new missionaries. It was after the time I think it's changed for the missionaries. And he talked about how our mission in Utah was, because it's the headquarters of the church there, he said it was as important, if not more important, than any of the other missions. And then he said that we were in a very special place. And so when he said those words, that's probably the time I remember I felt the Spirit stronger than any other time in my life. It was when he said that. It was very significant that we were in a special place. And so it was cool at the end of my mission to see that fulfillment of what the picture of the blessing said. That we were in a special place. And I never looked at it like that, but it is pretty special because it's where the saints gave up everything over in the east to come through the winter and through harsh times to come settle in Salt Lake. And so that was a pretty cool experience for me.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Maybe one more experience I can share is there was kind of what I tried to focus on a lot in my mission, and I grew a strong testimony. I was just following small promptings of the Spirit. And I realized it's not always like a feeling you get. Sometimes it's your own thought. And it doesn't always lead to something. Sometimes I think the Lord will test you to see if you'll follow some promptings that might not yield anything, but then you keep following them, he'll, and you've proven yourself that you'll listen to those, he'll send you to the right place. And I had a few experiences like that on my mission, just where we followed promptings, nothing happened, and we kept getting more promptings, and eventually we'd find someone out of the blue who was ready to be baptized. But one experience I had was about a year and a half out. So I was coming towards the tail end of my mission. Then we were going to go teach one of our recent converts who had just been baptized. And we went to his apartment, and I looked down, and we were already like 5 minutes late. And I looked down, about 100 yards away, there's a man sitting on a bench. And my initial thought was, oh, we don't have time. Letters supposed to talk to everyone, but we don't have time. And I just really had the feeling that we need to go talk to him. And so we put our reach on hold for a little bit. I went down and talked to him, and I sat down. And I started talking to him a little bit and told him who we were. And he was writing letters. And we started talking to him a little bit, and we shortly found out that he had just got kicked out of rehab. He was a heroin addict, and he had some sort of charge for it, but if he went through 3 months of rehab, then they would drop a lot of the charges. And he got kicked out one time, they let him go back in for second chance, and he just got kicked out again for relapsing on heroin. And because I said looking up to 10 years in prison. And so he was actually writing goodbye letters to his family, because he had actually just tried to commit suicide 3 times earlier that day and was somehow survived. And he said he was about to commit suicide again. And so when we talked to him, about the plan of salvation, how God sent us to him, things like that, and the meaning behind life, and that there's more after this life, we talked to him a bit more about plan of salvation and whatnot, and he ended up, at the end of it, he was crying and whatnot, and he got up and he hugged us a few times. He thanked us for saving his life. He said he was going to kill himself. And I lost a little contact with him after that, but I did call him a couple weeks later, and he ended up getting back into rehab where he could finish out and get the charges dropped. And so he was just really thankful because he might kill himself and not had that chance to later. And so that was just a neat experience for me, just following the Spirit. And even though he didn't get baptized, he might, in the future, maybe if the missionaries run into him, he might remember, what happened, and remember that, that God, that God watched out for him, and he was there for him. Maybe sometime in the future, he'll, maybe that'll have an effect.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
That's cool.
Yeah.
32 minutes.
Good. If that's enough, and then if you have more, we can text back.
Yeah, I can probably email you